Hello, it's John Heaton, and today I'm going to do a response to a request from my friend Henry Hemming, who asked me to discuss whether the second track on side one of albums tends to be the best on the album or amongst the best. Henry said it's a bit of an obsession for him, so I guess your view, Henry, is that that is the case. So I can't resist this kind of topic. It's a good topic to go to sleep to at night, trying to think of going through albums and saying what works and what doesn't work as the second track, and one could have done it for the opener as well, or the first track side two, or the closing track, I guess, but Henry asked me to do the second track. So before I've got a top 16 to show you. Before I show you that, I'm going to show you some which were bubbling under. First the ones that I approved of, such as Abbey Road. You can make a case for something, although the competition's pretty stiff on that album. Black and Blue, you can make a case for Hand of Fate. Abbey the album, you make a strong case for Take a Chance on Me. And Making Movie Star Straits, make a strong case for Romeo and Juliet. Of albums where I don't think the second track works particularly well, the Final Cut from Pink Floyd, Your Possible Past, probably the weakest track on the album for me, or one of them. Pipes of Peace, the second track, Say, 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 not a favourite. ABBA's album Voulez-Vous, the title track, comes second. As close to a filler for me as you get on that superb album. Never been really my favourite, but anyway, there is second track, side one. Probably going to get killed for this, but the second track on Rumours, Dreams, I don't think is a particularly strong track compared to Secondhand News and compared to Going Back Again, Never Going Back Again, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, Songbird. The rest of the stuff on side one I think is superior, but as I say, that's a very subjective opinion. Don't hold that against me. And then a few Stones tracks. I noticed the second track on Exile, Rip This Joint, not my favourite at all. Mick thought it was too fast, and compared to Rocks Off, it's a come down. Ain't Too Proud to Beg is a cover on It's Only Rock and Roll, which is probably the weakest song on the album. Summer Romance is a leftover from Some Girls, second track on Emotional Rescue, 1980. And Yours Truly, 2095 from ELO, the second track on Time, is not my favourite. But anyway, so that just goes to show it doesn't always work, in my opinion anyway. So now we're going to start off with a couple of Dylan tracks. Simple Twist of Fate, the second track on Blood on the Tracks, is an incredibly strong track, but to say that it's the strongest is stretching it, because the quality is so universally brilliant on that album. One would struggle to come up with a top 5, let alone a top 1. So, but anyway, it's an incredibly strong second track, and the second track on Slow Train Coming, Precious Angel, similarly not the only great track on that album, but certainly in the top 3, and superb second track. Now this one I've chosen from Lennon's Shaved Fish, the compilation, but I know a lot of people think that they shouldn't have shortened Give Peace a Chance, but I think in Lennon's opinion it went on too long, the single, and people didn't want to listen to it over and over. So what he did is he just included a minute of it at the beginning and said, okay, enough of that, and came in with Cold Turkey, extremely loud on the guitar, bass from Klaus Voormann, and drums from Ringo, and it really is an amazingly powerful way to come in after the short intro of Give Peace a Chance, so I love that. Elton John, 21 at 33, the second track on side one is Little Genie, and I think that is pretty definitely the strongest track on the album for me. And we've got Paul Simon, first of several Paul Simon here. It's interesting. Also could have put Tenderness from There Goes Rhyming Simon, because that's an incredibly strong second track, but the second track here, That's Why God Made the Movies, I think is up there in the top 2 or 3 on the album for me. We've got the Stranglers, Black and White, the second track being Nice and Sleazy. I think it's the highlight. Brilliant bass playing, brilliant keyboard, Dave Greenfield. Just an all-round Stranglers classic. We've got Dark Horse from George Harrison, the second track, Simply Shady. It's pretty much my favourite track on the album, so I've chosen that. ELO, Face the Music, there's a lot of good tracks on here, but Waterfall, the second track, is up there with the very best, and that follows Far and High at the beginning, so I've chosen that. Revolver, obviously chock-a-block full of classics, but the second track here is Elena Rigby, and one could make a case for that being the highlight of this particular album. Just timeless. I did have Rubber Soul to show you, but I seem to have left it in the other room, so I'll just mention Rubber Soul. And oh no, they're here, are they? Have I got them mixed up, the order here? Let me see. No, maybe not. I'm still okay. Layla, Bell Bottom Blues. It's not my favourite track on the album, but I know a lot of you, like you, Marcus Elvis out there, you like it the best, and a lot of people do. And it's a superb second track. It really is. But again, the competition on that album is pretty high. And then we have another Paul Simon album, the 1983 album Hearts and Bones, and the title track Hearts and Bones comes second. And well, whilst I think about it, the title track of Graceland comes second, and that's probably the best track on that album. So Paul Simon seemed to have made a habit of putting very strong tracks second. Number 5, not that this is any particular order really, they're all brilliant. Parallel Lines, and the second track on here is One Way or Another, which wasn't a huge hit single, but is one of the tracks played still on the radio and everyone seems to know it. So then here we have Rubber Soul. Sorry about the mix-up earlier. So here the second track is Norwegian Wood, and one could make a very strong case for that being the best on the album, along with In My Life and Girl from Lennon perhaps. But Lennon's on fire on this album, and that's amongst the best songs on the album. Number 3, we got Rust Never Sleeps from Neil Young, a very strong album, particularly side 1, the beginning of side 2, and the second track here is Thrasher, which is just a superb solo song on the acoustic with brilliant words. I think it may even be recorded live, that version. It's just absolutely spellbinding and one of the highlights of his entire career. Second, we've got AC/DC from Powerage, Down Payment Blues. My favourite on the album, along with Sin City, but if I had to choose one for Desert Island, it would be Down Payment Blues. I just love the intro, I love the chord changes, I love the way it starts off with just the guitar and then the drums come in all the way through. Bond's vocal, just brilliant. And then number 1, I've chosen Paul Simon's Self-Titled. The second track, again, showing a brilliant second track, is Duncan, and I think it's probably his finest lyric, although it's written about a third party. I don't think it's autobiographical, but just to read you a couple of verses. Couple in the next room, bound to win a prize, have been going at it all night long. I'm trying to get some sleep, but these motel walls are cheap. Lincoln Duncan is my name, and here's my song, here's my song. My father was a fisherman, my mum was a fisherman's friend, and I was born in the boredom and the chowder. So when I reached my prime, I left my home in the Maritimes, headed down the turnpike for New England, sweet New England. Holes in my confidence, holes in the knees of my jeans. I was left without a penny in my pocket. Ooh-wee, I was about as destitute as a kid could be, and I wish I'd had a ring so I could hock it. I'd like to hock it. Young girl in a parking lot was preaching to a crowd, singing sacred songs and reading from the Bible. And I told her I was lost. She told me all about the Pentecost. Seen that girl as the road to my survival. Just later on, the very same night, when I crept to her tent with a flashlight and my long years of innocence ended, well, she took me to the woods, saying, here comes something and it feels so good. And just like a dog, I was befriended, I was befriended. Last verse. Oh, oh, what a night. Oh, what a garden of delight. Even now that sweet memory lingers. I was playing my guitar, lying underneath the stars, just thanking the Lord for my fingers, for my fingers. I ended up reading the whole lyric there. I think it's just an absolutely brilliant lyric, a brilliant song, and a worthy number 1. Not list was in any order. This is the list in case any of you are interested. If you can read it, sorry if you can't, and sorry if you disagree, it's only my opinion. Thanks for watching. See you next time.